Do you have any regrets on anything, and if so, what were they?
I mean, I don't have any regrets. Like I said before, the things that are off the field right now that came up, caught me by surprise because I never did anything that these people are alleging. And I know a lot of people say that I took the year off, and I used that to be able to clear my name, like the previous 2 weeks, and just to continue to fight that. And I just continue to work and become a better person, a better player, and just a better son, like my mom has always taught me. I think the hardest part is just, having everyone, come at me from different directions and without, me be able to publicly speak on it because of the ongoing investigation. But, I took the route of following my legal team and telling the truth to the legal side so I can bring my innocence. And then once, like I said before, it's resolved in the near future, and hopefully I can speak freely on it.
When he says that the hardest part is everyone coming at him, he's not just talking about the 22 individuals and their lawyer. I have sensed from Watson's camp a level of frustration that they believe the media has been too harsh with him, that the media has been too aggressive about this. And I don't think you get to make that argument when you've been accused by 22 individuals with no proof of a conspiracy, no proof of some plot, no proof that any single one of them worked with anyone else to come forward and make these charges. It's 22 people. If it's 2, if it's 3, that's different. There's a number there. We've talked about this before. A number between 1 and 22 that becomes the critical mass. And I don't know what the number is. And for these purposes, we don't need to know. 22 is on the wrong side of it. So I don't like this not so subtle sense that he's mad at people who he thinks are being mean to him in the media because they're being aggressively supportive of the 22 individuals who have made the allegations. The other thing, too, should he have regrets? Well, he should have a regret. And his biggest regret should be lining up massage sessions on Instagram, putting himself in a compromising situation where it's just him and another individual over and over and over and over again, where someone can make accusations later. And his lawyer already admitted last year, Myles, that some of these massage sessions became consensual sexual encounters. He should regret putting himself in a reckless, dangerous spot where he could be accused. He set the table for what's going on through his own habits. So that's what he should regret. Now, I don't expect him to say that, but if he has any regret, at a minimum, that's what his regret should be.
Right, Mike, and that's kind of what I meant when I was saying, there's a troubling pattern of behavior here. I mean, if you are trying to ostensibly get your body right because you are a professional athlete and you want a massage, which is something that most, if not all, professional athletes go through because, especially as a football player, your body's getting hit, right? This is a sport that is very, very intense on your body, especially as a quarterback. Okay, so if you are setting up massage therapy sessions, that's something that makes complete and total sense. However, as you just put it, consensual sexual encounters are not what massage therapy sessions are supposed to be for. So if there is any regret that I feel like he should have, it should be that some of these, by his lawyer's own admission, some of these massage therapy sessions that he involved himself in turned into consensual sexual encounters. And that, at a minimum, at my most generous interpretation, is where he has definitely gone wrong. Because like I said, that's not what a massage therapy session is supposed to be for as a professional athlete. It's just not.
And I just wonder if anyone at any juncture of this process over the course of the last year has ever sat down across the table from Deshaun Watson and explained to him the very hard truths and gotten him to say, I understand where I went wrong. I understand. Because I go all the way back to the first accusation that was made.
Right.
When a $100,000 settlement demand was made. And the lawyers representing Deshaun Watson at the time basically thumbed their nose at Tony Busby, refused to make an offer, refused to engage in the ritual of settlement discussions, said $100,000 is too much, make another offer, which is guaranteed to piss off any lawyer worth his or her salt. It's a violation of the most fundamental negotiating ritual. You never expect anyone to bid against themselves. Even if you only put $200 on the table, you put something on the table and say, give me more evidence, give me another offer, and then we'll continue this discussion. That's where it went off the rails. But even that's when somebody had an obligation to sit down and say to Deshaun Watson, how did this happen? And in the process of having him explain how it happened, someone with a basic level of human curiosity needed to say, is this the only person? Is this it? Is there anyone else out there we need to know about, Deshaun? Is this something that you've been maybe doing 10, 20, 30, 40 times? So this has been time and again, and I'm probably going to get a phone call from somebody who doesn't like what I'm saying, but this has been time and again a failure of the people who are paid to take care of the interests of Deshaun Watson, and from time to time to speak hard truths to a young man who may not know any better. And I'm not making an excuse for anything he did, but at some point, you have an obligation to lead him on the right path and make sure he understands you shouldn't be doing this. And you know what? What you've been doing, not a good idea. We probably should take care of this claim that's been made. Discreetly, quietly. Well, what if there's somebody else? Well, if there's somebody else, we take care of that too. Because this is probably something you shouldn't have been doing. And you have the money. You have the money. You know, it's a shakedown. That's okay. The tree's got a lot of money to be shook. So you're fine. Because you know what? If we don't, this potentially blows up and derails your career and your life. That's why you need to have people around you who have the gift of foresight and the ability to speak candidly, no matter who it is.
Yeah, Mike. I mean, that's absolutely true. And I agree. I agree with you. I mean, it just seems like nobody's been willing to either do that or Deshaun Watson hasn't been willing to hear that. I mean, if we take him at his word today, he maintains, I did not assault anyone. And not only that, he said, I did not disrespect anyone. So he maintains that he just did nothing wrong. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we can all have different levels of respect, disrespect, whatever it is, different interpretations. But again, if you are hiring somebody ostensibly to be a massage therapist and help you get your body right, to me, it seems a little disrespectful that somehow that morphs into a consensual sexual encounter. These two things are just incongruous to me. And that's something that, you know, whether or not Deshaun Watson did something criminal, whether or not, you know, through the civil legal process, he is determined to be responsible in any one or more of these 22 cases, that's something that, to me, it's hard to wrap my head around, where you're like, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't need anything. I'm completely innocent and da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean he did something. Obviously, I have a hard time wrapping my head around it. And like, I don't know exactly what the right or wrong thing is to say, but like that to me is where I'm struggling, is that there's just not, there's not something there, you know? I don't know.
Let me just come out and say it. Because if you go to get a massage, and let's say he never made any maneuver for it to be anything other than a massage, and the massage therapist is the one who makes the first move, plenty of reasonable human beings would say, whoa, you got the wrong idea. That's not why I set this up. I just want a massage. I'm sorry if you got the wrong idea. I just want a massage. Thank you. We're done here. So he clearly didn't do that. If he didn't initiate, and if the massage therapist did, because his lawyer has admitted that there were consensual sexual encounters. His lawyer.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.